Yeah, this is probably the longest line I've been a part of. All the way down there. So let's take a look at how I started my own RV search. And where you begin is really looking at your vehicle. Now, if you're planning on getting a new vehicle, then you might actually start in the RV section. But for me, because I already had a car, I purchased a vehicle that I knew I wanted to tow something with. And this is my mistake, is that I just went ahead and purchased a car and not really having done any RV research. But that being the case, let me walk you through some of the process that I went through, and so you could follow my thinking and then kind of evolve it for yourself. But for me, I came in with an existing vehicle that I purchased a couple years ago, and it's a 2018 Dodge Durango GT version, all-wheel drive, and it is a V6 engine, 290 horsepower. At the time I bought it, I knew I wanted to tow something, but again, my mistake is that I didn't realize the engine difference comes into play in terms of what I can tow, and that factors into our RV research that we've done currently. But looking at the specs, you'll see here, curb weight on the vehicle is 4,985 pounds based on the specs that on my individual VIN. Gross vehicle weight rating is 6,500 pounds. Payload as listed is 1,200 pounds, but my question is, isn't the payload typically just the difference between the curb weight and the gross vehicle weight rating? So if anybody knows that, feel free to comment. And then it has listed max tongue weight capacity is 620 pounds. So for me, I'm assuming that any kind of weight that I'm going to put on the hitch itself, or that maxes out at 620 pounds. You take this out and it leaves us with roughly 580 pounds worth of cargo that I can still put in the car. So for us, it is myself, my wife, and our 3 pets. So towing capacity is at 6,200 pounds. With a lot of the research and conversations that I've had, what I've heard is a good guideline is generally don't tow above 80% of your towing capacity. But then there are people that tell me more, and then there are people that say less. But if 80% is a good starting point, you just have to use your judgment from there. Overall, your gross combined weight rating between everything, your towing, your cargo, whatever, the max here is 11,200 pounds. We're not gonna come close to going over. So with that said, here's where I started my my research. So you broad search for all the RV brands, and it landed me to this article from Camp Addict. I think updated pretty recently. Look at January 31st, 2020. It goes through everything, whatever class you want. For us, we were looking at travel trailers. Table of contents right here, you'll see it's class A, B, C, travel trailer, fifth wheels, toy haulers, teardrops, truck campers even. So this was a really good starting resource for us. So I went right to the travel trailer manufacturers list, and you can see that it's plenty. Really what I found out was the industry is largely filled by 2 major parent companies, if you will. So the first one is Thor Industries. So you could get to their website here, and then you come to Thor Brands. Go ahead and click on that, and then it takes you to all the companies that roll up that are owned by Thor. Conversely, you also have Forest River. And Forest River, what was interesting to me was like, okay, you have, yes, recreational vehicles, what I'm looking at, but then you look at all the other businesses that they have. So they make pontoon boats, which a buddy of mine is actually looking at one. We could go into recreational vehicles in Forest River here. And so even within Forest River, just like Thor, they have all of these brands and companies that are under that umbrella. For the sake of this video, we can just click through to Coachman, and then you see the way that they've set it up here is you go through the individual brand and say here's all the things that Coachman builds. And so for us, we look at travel trailers. And then it just becomes a bit of an arduous task of going through each one. You try to understand the differences. So for example, I'll take you through the Apex Ultralight series. That's kind of where we started when we first visited a dealership. It was just looking at, they had a lot of Apex products on the lot, and we were walking through a lot of them. So you have 7.5 feet trailers, and then you have 8 feet wide travel trailers. So that sometimes comes to play when you're talking about weight. So keep an eye on that. If we click into the 249 RBS, the companies are pretty good about having specifications. So you look at your hitch weight, unloaded vehicle weight, the length, how wide it is, and your water tanks and how big they are, in case you like to boondock, or you're thinking about, in case you want to boondock and you not want to be connected all the time. Cargo carrying capacity and all that adds up to the gross vehicle weight rating of the trailer itself. So as much as the manufacturers have listed their kind of average specifications here, your length, width, and gallon and water tanks and their sizes on each side, that's probably not going to change. Cargo carrying capacity, probably not going to change. What might change is, given the individually manufactured unit, your unloaded vehicle weight and your hitch weight will probably fluctuate. So that's something you want to look out for. So again, 249 RBS, get a look at the floor plan here, and you have some 3D videos that really help you kind of walk through and get a sense of the space. But obviously it's best to go through and look at a real thing if you can find one. So, but like I said before, since the hitch weight and the unloaded vehicle weight, that might fluctuate based on the individual unit. The other tool that I use is RV Trader. So with RV Trader, what we'll do here is say we're gonna put in Coachman, Apex, Ultralight. It's kind of finicky in that it wants to know that 249 RVS. And you'll see that it'll match up to what you're typing in, and then we're just gonna go nationwide and look nationwide for all of the Coachman Apex, the 249 RBS. So then it pulls up some listings. Here's one from Family RV in California. What I look for specifically is hopefully they'll have photos of the actual weight of the vehicle. So the sticker that's usually on this side of the trailer. So if they have it, you'll be able to understand what the specific hitch weight is on the unit and what the unloaded vehicle weight, or sometimes the dry weight. This has been pretty good in helping us understand like where's the nearest dealership that actually has one of the ones that we like in stock. And then there's nothing else to do other than just go and take a look at those. So one thing that you'll find when you start looking at floor plans is that I'm going to call it, there's several universal floor plans, if you will. So as you continue to look at brands, as you look at all the different floor plans, you'll start to realize like, man, all of these, there's just some certain floor plans that keep showing up. And then from there, it's just about probably the individual build quality. So for example, here right now I'm on the Keystone page. and I'm looking at a Keystone Hideout 262 LHS travel trailer. You'll see that this has, as you walk in, here's the entryway. You have a jackknife sofa right here, you have a dinette right here, and then you got a double bunk, 2 double bunks right here, and some storage underneath there. Got the bathroom and queen bed. Then I'm looking at a Wildwood X-Lite 261 VHXL. So if you enlarge this, so you'll see here that this is their floor plan. Same thing, solid steps, entryway. You got a jackknife couch right here, dinette right here, 2 bunks right here. What starts to make a difference is in a bit of the details. So like, whereas the Keystone, you have the vanity sink in the bathroom itself. In the X-Lite, they split it out. Not sure what the reasoning is. They just did it differently. And then also the other difference that can make a difference, or for us, would be the door in the entryway to the bedroom. My wife would be really happy to have a door. So you see here that it's on the Keystone Hideout, but in the Wildwood it's a curtain that gets pulled through. So all of these little nuances make a difference. So the floor plans are relatively similar universally, and then from there you just have to look at the details. Look at all the people in the skyway. Everybody wants an RV.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is probably the longest line I've been a part of.
Yeah.
All the way. Yeah. One thing I thought about was that as much as there's like a height, this is really high.
Oh,
Like if you want to cook anything, this is really high.
it is really high.
So it's almost not that great. So what model this is? No, this is too heavy for us.
This one's not very high.
Oh yeah, this one is lower. Well, that one was on the slide out, so this one's a little bit better.
Yeah, this is like manageable.
No.
Do you want to look at this one?
Yeah, you want to take a look?
It's pretty.
What do you think? How'd it look?
It's really like
Cramped.
cramped together.
A lot of storage though. The other one actually has more storage.
The one with the hybrid.
Yeah, if we could find it. You know what we never look at are Airstreams. We go into some of the Airstreams.
Yeah, we never did get to see one.
Yeah, they're up there.
That's the one that we liked it for a while, right? The white one? It was like, was that a yours?
No,
Oh.
no. This is an Airstream. These are like $75,000, $80,000. Yeah, but they
look pretty cool though.
Yeah. Look, you saved $16,157. So that's the one we rented when we went up to. Yeah.
It's so small.
Yeah.
It's so little.
Let's look at the Cherokees. We should take a look at this one, babe. Yeah. So the bunks in the front.
I like
There's
it.
no slide.
There's no slide.
Yeah. There's someone's hat. Yeah. And that's a queen bed that slides out the back.
Oh, it slides on the back?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. It's pretty nice. It feels a little wonky, a little bit like,
You think so?
well, the flow isn't quite.
It's kind of weird, huh?
Yeah. It's kind of weird. Kind of cool though, too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely not as much storage as the hybrid, you know? Bathroom's okay. Who's that guy? Oh. Oh, who's this?